Now, it seems you can only qualify these days to become a teacher if you have a PhD in activism to go with it. The cultural left have well and truly taken over classrooms across the country. We've had teachers pushing a pro-Palestine agenda in schools. There's been an unofficial teaching guide explaining how to wear Palestinian stickers and keffiyehs in class, and even suggestions on how to weave anti-Israel rhetoric into subjects. Over in Victoria, children as young as 5 are being told their body parts may not match their gender. Now, mum and dad don't drop little Johnny or little Jane off in the morning only for their kids to come back waving the Aboriginal, LGBTIQ+ and Palestine flags, asking if they were born with the wrong body parts, saying sorry to the stolen generation, marching to the beat of always was, always will be Aboriginal land and from the river to the sea. Oh, and then we'll add the climate Armageddon onto that as well. Why don't we? Have I missed anything there? Well, if you ask Chris Breen from Teachers and School Staff for Palestine, it's all perfectly normal stuff.
I mean, there's a view, I think, that comes across that politics should be kept out of the classroom, that teachers are brainwashing students, and I think this is just far from the truth. If that was the case, you know, we would get students to sit down and not talk over us and not take each other's pencil cases and everything else.
Look, I don't know what he's talking about, and clearly neither does he, but if that is the standard, God help our kids. And now the Herald Sun has exposed online chat forums where teachers around Australia are debating what is culturally appropriate in the classroom. Never mind basic maths, science and English, never mind exchanging ideas on how to improve educational outcomes for kids. They're actually asking one another whether they should bring their politics into school. Can you believe it? In one exchange, a Queensland teacher asked whether it was political or not to wear a T-shirt to class with the message, "We honour and respect Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people as the traditional custodians of country." One teacher replied saying that they wear their always was, always will be shirt almost weekly. Where on earth is the professionalism, let alone a guideline from schools on a dress code? In Victoria, a teacher issued an online apology in one of the forums to anyone I insulted or who thought I was being racist after their post questioned whether acknowledgement of country had to be held daily. But teachers actually got so enraged at the fact she questioned if it was a daily practice that they called a fellow teacher racist. The apology received supportive comments, including one thanking them for being introspective and directing them to culturally safe environments guidance from the Victorian Department of Education. Well, I mean, when you're under a state with a treaty that nobody ever voted for, what do you expect? A teacher from WA asked fellow teachers about whether they had a nice welcome to country sign for their classroom and on whether they think that's indoctrination. Acknowledging and celebrating Indigenous Australian culture in schools is not indoctrination, and even posted an image of a dictionary definition of just that. Well, I did a little Google myself at the very definition. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, indoctrination is the process of repeating an idea or belief to someone until they accept it without criticism or question. Imposing your views on children is indoctrination. And what right do these so-called educators have to be imposing them in the first place? It's just so easy for these activists, and that's what they are, to impose their views because kids are impressionable. You tell them one thing, they believe it, they take it. I mean, they're kids, for goodness sake. They're not at an age where they can form their own critical views. And why should they be? Let kids be kids and let parents do the parenting. Teaching is one of the most important and I would say rewarding professions in the world. You get to equip children and teenagers with critical learning skills. And when it starts at school, these kids will one day carry it into the workforce. And that is all we need, another generation of new age woke adults. We've clearly got enough already.